So today, we're going to talk about the story of oblock. And really, it's a story about a place, a whole culture that just, well, it vanished. And it leaves you with this one huge question. Can something like that ever truly come back? And that's the mystery at the heart of all this. You have this vibrant street that just suddenly fell silent. So the big question is, right, is this silence permanent? Or is this just a pause before the next chapter begins? Okay, so let's get into it. To really get what was lost, we first have to understand what oblock, or as they call it, the street, actually was.
You know, what's so interesting is that oblock wasn't just a physical location. I mean, sure, it's a specific housing project on the south side of Chicago, and it's famous in the world of drill music. But it was so much more than the buildings. It was a feeling, an energy. It was the street, a place that really had a life of its own. But then something happened that changed absolutely everything.
That change, it all started with a single violent incident. The death of the prominent rapper King Von kicked off this deadly chain reaction that would, in the end, be the thing that silenced the street. Let's just walk through this timeline because it happened fast. First, King Von releases a song, and the title's kind of chilling. It's called When I Die. Shortly after that, he's killed by a gunshot wound, allegedly by a member of a rival gang. Well, this apparently sparks retaliation from the rapper Lil Durk, which then results in the death of the rival rapper Quando Rondo's brother. It was just a rapid, tragic escalation. The consequences of that alleged retaliation were swift and they were impactful, not just for the people involved, but for the entire community of oblock. So here's the crucial point. After all these events, Lil Durk, who was this central figure in the community, was arrested. And his arrest, that seems to have been the tipping point. This quote right here, it just captures the immediate aftermath perfectly. The feeling, the whole energy of oblock was just suddenly gone. People had this deep sense that something fundamental had changed, maybe forever. And this one, well, this quote pretty much says it all. The vibrant, active street culture just disappeared. Simple as that. It had gone quiet. But you know what? That's not where this story ends. The conversation is now shifting to the future, and it suggests that a potential comeback for oblock really hinges on two specific individuals and one very significant year. You might want to mark this year on your calendar, 2026. This is the year that could determine the entire future of the street. So why 2026? What's the big deal? Well, because it's the potential release year for two key figures, Lil Durk, whose arrest lined up with the street going quiet, and another rapper, YNW. So let's look at their situations for a second. We know Lil Durk's story is tied directly to the whole oblock timeline. But YNW Melly's situation? It's completely separate. He was arrested for allegedly shooting his two best friends. Now, what's so strange here is that even though their cases have nothing to do with each other, the community's hope for a comeback is now pinned on both of their potential releases. And this brings us right back to the central question of this whole explainer. With these potential releases on the horizon, what does the future actually hold for oblock? The connection couldn't be more explicit. This isn't just about legal cases anymore. The narrative suggests the freedom of these two men is directly tied to the resurrection of an entire street culture. And so we end with this core prediction, but it's really framed as a question, isn't it? Is the life of a place like oblock really dependent on just a few key people? If Lil Durk and YNW Melly are released in 2026, will the street truly come back? Or is that chapter in its history just closed for good?